What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Retro Dude 15. Been promising you guys a video of some of the stuff that I have, Sega Genesis, and I thought I'd start out with this video first. This is just some of the hardware for the Sega Genesis that I own. I'll do the games uh, in one of the upcoming videos that I'll put out. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. One of my other videos that I've mentioned, I'm kind of anal when it comes to the way I store my systems. I put everything in Ziploc bags. I know I'm weird like that, but anyway, this is the first system, the high def graphics. This is actually the one that I had when I was a lot younger. So this is the original. I didn't get rid of it and have to go out and get another one. So yeah, this is the real deal. This next system is the Sega Genesis System 2. Good shape. I mean, it almost looks like I just got it out of the box. Although I wish I did have the box. Unfortunately, all of my systems, I don't have the original box. When I got this one, you know, I was at the age where it was what was inside. The box didn't really matter. It probably got thrown out the very next day. So, yeah, it makes me sick thinking about it now. So, yeah, 1, 2, and of course, this is the third one. This one's actually hooked up in the bedroom. So, it's convenient, lightweight, doesn't take up much space. So, yeah. The Sega Genesis System 3. Here, now this one I do have the box for. This is the Sega Nomad. You know, Sega on the go, portable. This was actually before, of course, the PSP, all that Game Boy. Actually, this might have came out at the same time the Game Boy did. I'm not really sure about that, so don't quote me on that, because I'm probably wrong. But I do have the battery pack, everything. But with the Sega Nomad, when you use the batteries, you would completely fill up a landfill in probably a matter of a week or so. So they weren't very economical. So what I do is I've got the power cord that I use with this. I don't use the battery pack. Moving on. Oh, back here, the Sega Minister. It is complete. Actually, I've never taken this out of it. I got this just to have it, basically. I know it probably sounds weird, but the game really wasn't that great, so I wanted to get it because it was part of the Sega Genesis and I didn't have it. So yeah, this is complete, never been out of the box. Here we have the Sega Genesis cleaning system, and it's never been used. That's the box for it. Here's the instructions for it. I just thought this was pretty neat. I actually seen this at a flea market, and it was still sealed. So yeah, of course I had to have it. I remember when these were out, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe they were, God, I want to say like 20 or 30 bucks. It was pretty expensive. Here, this is also sealed, never been opened, is the power plug. This was to make any Genesis controller into a turbo, where you can have turbo. So yeah, it was pretty neat to have. You know, if you didn't have the luxury of having a 6-button, you know, turbo, all the jazz and bells and whistles that came with it. So yeah, still sealed. Never been out of the package. I just thought, you know, I've already got the controllers. There was no need in opening this, so I thought I'd keep it sealed. All right, moving on. This is the Lethal Enforcers with the game. Of course, the blue justifier. There's the manual down there. Everything works. Konami came out with this. I like it because it's kind of funny, but you know, back then everybody was afraid that you know, the gun was too realistic. So what they did was they made it blue, and they also had a pink one too. So there would be no. I wish it would have been like what's on the box. I mean, look how cool that is. Talking Dirty Harry here. But I guess, you know, they were afraid that kids would take these out and be mistaken for a real gun, and, you know, perfect storm. Alright, moving on. We have a game Genie, of course. You know, you had to have a game Genie back then, you know. It was our way of cheating. And here, look, check this out. This tells you the time that we were in. Secrets of the games. Sega Genesis secrets. Remember that, guys? Remember when we had to actually read? This was before internet, so yeah, if you wanted to know how to get past certain bosses, or if you had trouble with anything, you bought these. So yeah, there you go. Over here we've got the Sega Genesis arcade power stick, and you know, it's actually a pretty good game, or a pretty good controller. I'm sorry. Only thing that sucks is this is the one that didn't have the 6 buttons. So, you know, ideally when you have one of these power sticks, it's good for fighting games and stuff. But when it's just the 3 button, it really didn't help any. But I mean, it's heavy. I mean, it's well built. I just thought it was kind of cool to have. I use it every once in a while, but not a lot. Alright, moving on, we've got the, and I've shown this in another one of my videos. This is the Batter Up. It's a hit interactive video game or video baseball accessory. Get off your thumbs, step up to the plate, and swing. Actually, this was way ahead of its time. I mean, thinking about it now, this is kind of like the stuff that what we have now with the Wii and stuff. So, so yeah, it was, and this is sealed. I didn't open it. I mean, this is good for some of the baseball games that are out. Actually, it says right here, World Series Baseball. I know you can't see that, so I'll just read them. Hardball 94, Hardball 3, ESPN Baseball Tonight, MLB PA Baseball EA Sports, RBI Baseball 94, RBI Baseball 93, Tony La Russa Baseball, Super Baseball 2020, Cal Ripken Jr. Baseball, and Sports Talk Baseball. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty neat. I mean, but again, I never got it out. I just always used the controller, so I thought I'd keep it sealed, although the wrapper is starting to come off. But anyway, I just thought it was neat to have. And in the mystery box here is some of my controllers that I have. Again, here we go with the Ziploc bags. These are controllers, 6 button. I've got no turbo. This is the power cord and stuff for my Sega Genesis System 1. Here's a bag full of controller, 6 button with turbo. So yeah. And these two right here, the controller 3 button, these are the ones that actually came with my system over there. And it's, I don't know, yeah, you can tell. It's the ones that have the red ABC letter in the buttons themselves. I guess I'm thinking that there was a controller that came out with the second Sega Genesis System 1 that had white buttons, but the original high def graphic Sega System 1 the controllers, the letters were red. So that's how you can tell if you run across any 3-button controllers out in the wild. If they're white, it's the second version of the System 1, and if they're red like these, it came out with the original first system. If that makes any sense. That sounded kind of confusing. And over here, last but not least, and I'm sure I'm forgetting to lay something out. If I did, I will show you guys in the next video where I have my games and stuff. But this is the Sega Genesis cabinet. This is where I keep my loose carts. I don't have that many. If I run across a loose cart out and it's a game that I really want, or it's a game that it's just a good game, I'll go ahead and get it and put it in here. Rocket Knight Adventure. This is a interesting story with this one. This is a Sparkster. Now, any of you guys that know anything about Sega Genesis, you'll know that this is a pretty rare game. So I think they're going complete on eBay anywhere around 40, 50 bucks, even higher on some of them. I have seen them go higher. Loose like this, I don't know, maybe high 20, low 30s maybe, if you can even find it. But it's so weird how I ran across this. I actually was at a local video game store place, and all they had at that time was PlayStation 2. They were phasing out GameCubes, and they had a few NES games, loose carts sitting out, and a few Sega Genesis, the high-end Sega Genesis loose setting out. So I asked the guys that were working there, I said, do you have any more Sega Genesis carts? And they were like, yeah, we've got a cart in the back room. Hang on a second. So he goes in the back room and wheels out this cart, and I swear there were like 10 or 15 boxes of just loose carts. So I really don't think they intended on me staying there and going through each and every one of them, but I did. And I actually ran across that. They didn't realize what they had, so I bought it for like $1.50 loose. Of course, I wished it was complete, but here's another one, McDonald's Treasureland Adventures. I know some of you guys are probably thinking, God, that is a kiddie game, but it really isn't. It's pretty good game. Wings of War. I don't have this complete. I'm hoping whenever I find a good deal on eBay or find it out in the wild, if I'm lucky enough, I can eventually get it complete. But I don't know. It's just Williams Arcade Greatest Hits. Get in there. Bugs Bunny and Double Trouble. Stimpy's Inventions. Sonic 3D Blast. Sonic Spinball. Here's something that I found out in the wild. I really don't know what it is. I'm thinking it's something similar to a Game Genie, but I thought it was interesting because it had the little toggle switch there, but it's called Pro Action Replay version. So I don't know if any of you guys know what this is. Leave a comment down below. Help me out. Boogerman. And like I mentioned in another video of mine, I'm probably one of the few that actually does love sports games, so I've got a lot of them. NBA Live 96, NBA Live 98, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, NBA Jam, of course, Turkin. Here's a good one. Wonder Boy in Monster World. Doom Troopers. Mutant Chronicles Doom Troopers. Toe Jam and Earl, Panic on Funkatron. Desert Demolition, starring Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. And crap, I can't even get that out. I don't know if you can see it, but it's Joe Montana 2 Sports Talk Football, way ahead of its time. Of course, Sonic and Knuckles, gotta have that, right? And here are just some extensions for my controllers. Yeah, back then, which actually there is a controller out there that is wireless, but unfortunately it wasn't that great, so I went this route and I just got these extensions. So yeah, that is kind of a quick run through of some of my Sega Genesis hardware stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy. I know I like getting this all out and talking about it, all that good stuff that comes with it. Nostalgic effect, I guess. But anyway, we'll be putting out some videos of my games. So be expecting that video coming out soon. So as always, happy gaming. Peace.